Welcome back
to another episode of Macros and Muscles with Jenna and Aurora.
And as usual, we are going to start with a taste test. And today's taste test is brownie themed.
Do you guys like brownies?
Who doesn't like brownies, right? I hope. So we're going to start with actually a protein bar in a brownie flavor. But don't worry, then we're going to actually eat things that are claimed to be brownies. And I say claim, but you'll see why. So this is a Think high protein bar. So it's got 20 grams of protein. It's gluten-free. It has 230 calories, 8 grams of fat, 24 carbs, and 20 grams of protein. I already said that. 2 grams of fiber. And this bar does have sugar alcohols, which are not like an issue. It's just that I tend to find that I can taste that. It has like a very distinct taste. But maybe I shouldn't have read that first.
No, and you don't have the same feeling when you have something with stevia in it.
No, I don't.
I know some
it's interesting.
people who don't like the stevia flavor.
Yeah. So anyway, here it is. It is brownie crunch. Do you want to like break it off? And yep, see the inside. I love the texture.
It's the same as it used to be, honestly, like in a good way. Yeah, because I always liked this bar.
I never had it.
Yep, I love the little rice puff crisps in there for a little crunch.
Yeah, it's super soft.
And for me, I prefer dark chocolate over everything. But this is like a really, really good non-dark chocolate brownie bar.
I do like it. I'm waiting to see if I have like that sugar alcohol aftertaste. I don't think so. Not really. I mean, it definitely tastes like a protein bar, but that's a pretty good one.
This is what I wanted that bar from last week. To taste like that, like crisp chocolate one.
Yeah. So next we have Larabar. Now I love Larabars, like regular Larabars. This is their kids line. It's the Larabar Kids Bakes Chocolate Brownie. And their little marketing says just 9 ingredients, no artificial sweeteners. These are also gluten-free. And the macros are 120 calories, 5 grams of fat, 17 grams of carbs, and 2 protein. So obviously not a protein treat, just a little snack.
I'm excited for this.
So here's the little package there.
And now, if this is good, have you had this before?
I have not.
So if this is good, and it's something that you would come back to, if you pair that with like, a Core Power or something, that's almost a, near meal. Hefty snack.
Yeah. That's what the inside looks like.
Thank you.
Looks a little on the dry side, but I wouldn't call it dry.
No.
It's kind of hard. I feel like I shouldn't have had that other.
Oh.
I feel like the other bar is interfering.
It is. I just got a funny aftertaste.
Yeah. Do you think it's that, or do you think it's this? Shall we see what's in it?
This.
But why? It's buckwheat flour.
Oh.
That is actually, I think the buckwheat is the issue.
I think I taste the buckwheat.
Yeah. Semi-sweet chocolate, cocoa, and then, all the ingredients and chocolate chips. Honey, cane sugar, coconut oil, water, chia seeds, cocoa powder, and sea salt. Yeah, I think it's because I'm not a fan of buckwheat.
Wow.
And I know I'm not a fan.
Interesting. I'm not a fan of buckwheat either.
Yeah, and I know that just because it was in, what was in? It was in some of Fit Vegan Chef's recipes, and I love a lot of her recipes. But when I've used buckwheat flour in things, I'm like,
I don't know what it is. No. It's just not one that I gravitate towards.
Yeah.
It gives me the grass-fed taste that I don't like.
Yeah, Yeah, I can kind of see that. That's going to be a, yeah. All right. Next, we have Nature's Bakery. Oh, by the way, I got all these things at Target.
Target?
Okay, so if you wanted to try them, because, I mean, not that I had awesome things to say about the Larabars, but the Think Bars. No, wait a minute. I take that back.
Mm-hmm.
I did not get the Think Bar at Target. That was Trader Joe's, actually.
Oh, yeah.
But those are in a lot of places.
You know where we should taste something? Is that the store you took me to in East Greenwich.
Oh, yes.
And you know what? I've been dreaming about those chocolate Rice Krispies from there. They were so good.
Okay, yeah, we should definitely go back there. We could do a taste test just for them.
Yeah.
So here we have Nature's Bakery. There we are.
Mm-hmm.
And we have 170 calories, 5 grams of fat, 30 carbs, and 3 protein. So this is almost like a good pre-workout, almost. Yeah. Although, I take that back. I mean, no, it could be. It's got 4 grams of fiber, though. Because in a pre-workout, we want more quick digesting.
Yeah.
Whatever. But this has whole grains, dates, and cocoa. Double chocolate. We'll see.
You know, dates are our, special place in our hearts for us. So.
Oh, yes. We love dates. Ooh, look. This is 2.
Oh, perfect.
It's like 2 little... Here. Take your little brownie. I kind of like that. There we go. Oh, wait a minute. I should have even smelled it first. It smells good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know what?
This is better.
You can tell that the date does a good thing for the texture of this bar. It's not too chewy. It's not too rough. Not too dry.
I really like the texture, but yeah, maybe it's the fact that it's a whole wheat flour, because I'm still getting that, like, this isn't quite a brownie, but it wants to be.
And what kind of flour is in brownie flour? Regular flour?
Like a regular old, like, all-purpose flour, And I'm sorry, but it's like using the whole grain flour, I think it affects the taste so much and really doesn't make it that, it's not like it's healthier. You know what I mean? It's not that big of a...
It's a marketing thing because, at home, I'm not using other than regular flour unless... I mean, I have coconut flour at home, but I don't use it.
It doesn't matter. It's like, it's just another plant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But anyway, that would come in second to the Larabar. I mean, that's better than the Larabar.
Agree.
So, definitely. And one more. We usually try to keep it to 3, but one more. I have high hopes for this one. That's why I saved it for last. This is a Perfect Bar. Not really a protein bar. Perfect bars are more like fat bombs.
I love these when I was in college.
But they're so good.
I love them.
Yeah. So this one, I mean, they do call themselves protein bars, but it's only 12 grams. And they're pretty high in fat. They're high cal, but that's okay because every once in a while.
And this is in the refrigerated section when you got it, right?
Yes.
I always was like so intrigued in these bars because
they're like fresh.
They're fresh.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Now I've never had this flavor though, and it's chocolate brownie. So I felt it went with the theme, and let's try something new. The only one that I love, the dark chocolate chip peanut butter bar.
They have a nice coconut one too.
Yeah. I love coconut, but not more than peanut butter. So I would never choose it.
Yeah.
But anyway, these bars are 290 calories, 17 grams of fat. Like I said, this is like a little fat bomb. 27 carbs, 4 fiber, and 12 grams of protein, like I already said. So let's go for it.
I feel like these ones are pretty filling too.
Yeah. We're probably going to like this. So don't take a little piece. Like, take half.
Thank you. Ooh. It's got nice chocolate chips in there.
Ooh. Yeah. It's got a lot on the top. It is not as good as a peanut butter one.
It's just very earthy. It's more peanut butter than brownie. And I mean, I do know that these bars
are made from peanut butter. Yeah. Although they do have almond butter ones, right?
Yeah, they do.
All right. To be fair, I'm going to give it another bite.
Well. Interesting.
I do like it. I think because it's so peanut butter forward, I can get past the kind of strange earthiness of it.
You know what's tough, I think? Well, yes. I feel like it's hard. Like a chocolate protein can taste good in a shake, but I find it hard for any brand to make like a good chocolate health bar because there's so much involved with it.
Yeah. So I think the Think bar is the winner today.
Definitely the winner. Yes, agree.
Yeah. But I would still put this number 2.
I would put the Nature's Bakery number 2 with the dates.
All right. So now that we've had some snacks, segue into today's topic, which is meals versus snacks, grazing, just the way people eat and what's better and what we should be doing and what we should avoid doing and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah. When do you feel like you felt that you put together a plan for yourself, that you're eating the right amount of meals and nutrients? Like that, when did that start happening for you?
So I definitely changed. And I used to snack a lot. I used to not really eat big meals, but that's because I was like calorie hoarding. This was like goes way back, even into like the Weight Watchers days. I would, and I did it when I learned macros too. Like whether I was hoarding macros or hoarding Weight Watchers points, I would try to eat as little throughout the day and try to like graze and pick and snack to get me by so that I could have like a big amount of food at night, like later in the day, you know? And so it took me a long time and, you know, with the help of a coach to learn that like, that's not good. And I'm not fueling my body well. It's affecting digestion, which that's another thing that people don't even realize. Like if you're constantly eating, because remember, well, I don't know, like, because you're younger than me, but there was this whole movement going back, like, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, where it was like, you need to eat small, frequent meals throughout the day, 6 meals a day to keep your metabolism firing.
I remember that trend.
Yeah, you know? And so I believed all that. And
eat a yogurt and then eat a bag of almonds and then have a chicken breast and a black coffee and
just like keep eating. So when you do that, you're never actually giving your body a chance to you're just constantly digesting all the time, and it's just that's not good. And then also you're never actually eating a meal, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like a real balanced meal.
And that's going to make an impact on the way your body's digesting and the allowance of those nutrients to get where it needs to go. It's kind of like you're always going to be backtracking if you don't have enough of the right stuff.
And you're never satisfied. That was another thing. I was never satisfied. You're always hungry. But anyway, that's what I was doing for a long time. Then I learned that what if, now, and I didn't believe it either. And I say this to people that are doing what I used to do. Have a meal that's like 500 calories, you know, eat a real meal. And then what you might find is that you're actually satisfied and fueled to go all the way until lunch.
And then most of the time it happens when someone eats a 500 calorie meal, they're eating enough food or like what's right for their body because they're eating other things too, but they probably are eating less than if they would have just snacked the entire day either.
Exactly.
So while it's a little,
it all adds up.
It all adds up. And when you're eating a meal, it's a little bit more focused for yourself and your body to digest that, to be satisfied mentally. And then hopefully, you know, that food knows to be cleared until the next meal.
Right.
And it seems like you don't want to believe it. Like the proof is in the pudding though.
Right. Because what do you have to lose? Maybe you have one day where things go crazy because you were experimenting. But maybe you realize like, oh, I feel much better this way.
And yeah, when people have been eating a certain way or think what worked for them for a certain amount of time, when I was with the coach and when you were with the coach, we talked about how scary it was to learn that that our macros were raised, or that we should eat more protein, more calories, more carbs, more fat. And that's like a scary thing, because I don't know why, but for some reason, when you get with a coach and they're telling you what to do, you're like, oh, but is that going to work though? Like, do I believe it? And then you do it. And then you learn that your body, your metabolism responds to it, and it gives you more energy, more fuel, and you're more able to do your workouts and, progress a little bit more. So for some reason, when we hear it like that, we get scared and we think that it's not going to work, or to like allowingly to knowingly get permission to eat more when we're so used to being reduced and minimizing it, but it actually makes you grow and makes your body composition improve.
And it really helped my relationship with food too, because I had a scarcity mindset where the reason why I calorie hoarded is because I felt like I was going to run out. And what happens if I eat all my calories and it's like 2:00? You know what I mean? I was like, what's going to happen? Oh my gosh. And I'm like, so if you're worried about that, so what? So what if you eat all your calories by 2:00? Okay.
Drink water.
You can still, but still eat, still have your dinner, still go about your day. You've got to experiment a little bit to see what's going to work best for you. So it took me a little time to fall into like my current eating pattern, which is I eat 4 times a day, every day, 7 days a week. It doesn't matter if I'm working out or not, if I'm lifting or not, weekend, weekday, I have 4 meals. And I'm not a snacker at all anymore, just because I find that kind of gets me out of my routine. And I'm not saying that snacking is bad, of course. We're all different, and that's why we need to experiment and find what's going to work best for us. I find that when I have all my calories spaced out between 4 meals, I am fueled, satisfied, never like starving, and just feeling good.
And how long did it take you to figure that out?
I don't know.
And probably with the help of coach too,
Right. It took me a long time to get out of, the whole hoarding situation. And realize too that like there might be a time and place to kind of do that a little bit. Like if I know that like we're going to have like why can't I talk? Like a Friday night movie night or something. And I know that we're going to want to have some carby snacks. I'm going to want to have some popcorn or, some, whatever we have planned. So yeah, I might reduce carbs in my earlier meals that day to make room for that. But I'm still eating big meals. I'm not like starving myself all day so that I can pig out at night. It's not like that anymore.
And that's not
but
the
I used
point
to do that
either for you now, which is really awesome that you've been able to grow into fully feeding yourself and celebrating the nutrients that you're putting into your body without having to sacrifice it in other places.
Right. And I also want to stress, like, it doesn't matter how many meals a day do you eat?
Definitely like 3.
Okay.
Like, because I love to have the allowance to snack and kind of have the freedom of calories to pick what it is that I want to eat.
Yeah. And plus you eat intuitively. So,
and like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, like those, I always hit that. And, depending on my activity level or something, on days where I go to the gym, I'm going to be eating, some more protein and some more carbs to recover and get that energy. But I've always gravitated towards like a breakfast, lunch, and a dinner. Yeah.
What I like to tell people is that, especially because most people are struggling to get enough protein or, to get their protein in throughout the day. One way that I try to tell people if they don't know how many meals they should be eating is let's just take what your protein goal is and divide it by the number of meals you're eating. Okay. So if you are, do you know like could you even guess like what your protein target is at this point?
Like 130.
Okay. So divided by 3 gives us, do we need a calculator?
Yep.
And also that's your cortado, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Just sip it while it's hot.
That's good.
Oh, you know what?
My phone.
That's okay, because I don't even care if people are laughing at us right now. It's totally fine. So 130 divided by 3 equals 43 grams of protein. Now, some people, I know not you, some people might be like, 43 grams of protein in one sitting. That might be too much for them. Or it's not that it's too much for them. They feel like it's too much for them. They don't enjoy that. So in that case, try 4 meals a day, because then you're going to go from, what did I say? How many? 43? No, 43 grams per day. So you make that 4 meals, and now that's down to 32 grams, So
which, once you start introducing and exposing yourself to like, sources of protein and the quantity of, how much chicken breast equals 30 grams or whatever, it becomes easier.
Yeah.
And it's like, 44 grams of protein, that might seem like a lot, but if I have access to like a 26 gram power shake, and then I can have, some eggs or tuna sandwich or something, it becomes easier and more natural over time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which is annoying to hear if you're just getting started, but it's the same with everything, and we're all going to be annoyed whenever we want to start something new. And so we're happy to welcome you here if you're with us today.
Exactly. So. And like, not to go off on like a protein tangent, but it's like one thing that people get hung up on is, and they're trying to like, oh, how do I get more protein? Just have more of what you're already eating. If you're having chicken for dinner, have more of it.
Yeah.
It's just have a bigger portion. And the other thing is too, like, people look at like a yogurt, a high protein yogurt, whatever, let's say it has 15 grams of protein, but they wanted 30 in that meal. You don't have to have just one pack.
Yeah.
Just, you know what I mean? We get hung up on portion sizes sometimes. And when things are portioned out, we think like that is the amount I'm supposed to have. You can have 2 yogurts. And if you don't like the expense of the packaging or whatever, like even, like a lot of the good yogurts out there now come in the tubs that you can just portion out a bigger portion, so you don't have to eat that one little cup.
And to add to that, if it makes it easy, keep like the big jug in your fridge at home, and get also like the portable individual ones, so you can take them with you when you work or to the gym or whatever you need to do, because we like to make it easy for you to reach your goals and actually make it happen, because we can say we have goals all we want, and it's great to have them, but we need to also work towards them, and there's ways to do that, and we love to mention those.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, it's not that snacking is bad, or that having
mindful.
Mindful. It's like, just figuring out what's going to work for you and what's going to keep you going without falling into the trap that I was in of like just constantly nibbling, every hour or two, just constantly like having something. That's definitely not advisable.
No. And you don't have to be perfect all the time. Every day is maybe not going to look the same for you, but I love that saying, like, bite the bullet, because you will be happy that you did if you want to make change, and if you're struggling to move forward in a certain direction. So.
Absolutely. Yeah. So don't be afraid to experiment with your current eating pattern if you feel like it's not really working for you. And it's not that serious. Just play around with it and see how you feel.
And the fun thing too about food is, like, goes in, it goes out. So if you don't like something, you don't want to try it ever again, you don't have to do that. And another thing, whether it comes to food, nutrition, the workout you're doing, if you don't like whatever it is you're doing, you're eating, you're not going to stick with that. So we have to try new things. And if we don't like it, then we don't have to go back to it.
Right. And don't skip meals.
No.
Never. We don't skip meals around here.
Oh my God. No.
No.
You can't backtrack. You can't go to the treadmill for 3 hours because of the meal that you ate last week, or that's never going to work. You got to be fueled, take care of your and it has to come from a place of like love and quality. You want to have good quality bodily functions in good quality relationship with yourself.
Right.
And if that's what we can put in our heads when we're eating and we're going to the gym, little things like that are going to change the way that we think.
Right. Because, you know, exercise isn't a punishment, and we can't make up for the things that kind of went wrong, so to speak. Like you're saying, we have to look at every 24 hours. Like when you wake up in the morning, do a hard reset. This is a new day. You're not trying to make up for what happened yesterday. You're not trying to compensate for what you did or didn't do. It's a new day, and you just have to treat it as such and make that next decision of whatever you're going to eat, you know, kind of bring you closer to your goals.
And you have to have a balance of like, it is serious, but it's also not that serious, so that you can give yourself freedom and grace, but also keep on track and be in the balance of, you know, a healthy, not control of like, I need to do everything this way, or I don't care at all. It's not all or nothing in life. It's not black and white. There's way more gray area, and there's way more room to improve than you even know.
Yeah, definitely. And the harder we try to hold on and make things perfect, the harder it is and the worse the situation ends up being. So
when you let go of whatever it is in your mind, physically, mentally, that's holding you back, you're never even going to guess where you can end up from there.
Exactly. Because as we always tend to bring it full circle, it's all up here.
It is.
This isn't about our stomachs and our appetites and all these different, you know, and all the different things we make it out to be. It's mindset.
It's mindset.
It's our relationship with food and our bodies and how it affects everything.
It's going to change this wherever you are, whatever you want to do. And that's powerful.
Yeah, it is.
Right here.
Yeah.
A little cute little thing up there.
So we have to do that digging. You know, we really have to do the digging.
It is so worth it. Oh my God.
Yeah, because I don't ever want to go back to where I felt like food was in control, and, you know, I felt like I didn't have control, and
I want to think about something other than my body and why I hate it for a second, you know?
Right.
And when you try and work on those things, it really quiets those feelings in your mind, and you tend to focus your energy elsewhere. And it comes from a place of strength and empowerment and moving forward in the future and what you can accomplish, instead of why do I look like this and why did I eat that and why can't I do anything good?
I was about to say something, and then I'm like,
sorry.
No. I was like, don't say it, because we should just have a whole episode on body image.
Yeah, we do. We need more of those, for sure.
Definitely. So I'm not going to say what I was going to say. I'll save it. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.